So we can see each one. Three ways we are going to be studying how this analysis of production takes variation. So first stage you can see a very short period or market period. Any kind of a commodity which the producer is going to be producing in the market. So you will have some duration of time to be produced. So we have three stages or three ways of seeing that. So what is that is a very short period or market period. During this period, a very short factor of production and cost remains fixed. Producer will not have sufficient time to make adjustment of the factors of production. So certain commodities which comes to the market, you can see it will last. It will have very short period of time. They will not even have a time to fix one exact rate also. So that is going to be remained in, and it will last for only few years or few months or few days. So the duration in this market period is very less, and this factors of production cannot do any kind of adjustment. So this is also called as a market period. So in this very short period, you can see very short period factors of production and cost remains fixed. There is no change, fixed cost. Now, as I gave an example, you can take an example for this exhibition or some of the commodities which they come and sell in the market for only few days. It will last very short span of time. You cannot have it for a longer period. So these people who are going to be coming and selling, they fix one rate, and within that time only, because time is also going to be limited and your commodity must also be sold. So this short span of time, they will not have any kind of changes to be adjusting here. So that time, whatever they have been produced, they have to sell it within that amount of fixed rate, and they are going to be going away. That is going to be called as your market period or very short period. So during this very short period, so you can see very short factors of production and cost remains fixed, no changes. So producer will have sufficient time to make adjustment in the factor of production. Limited quantity they will have to be produced, limitedly they have to sell that product. Secondly, you can see short period. So short period refers to a period wherein changes can be made in few factors like unskilled laborer, raw material, fuel, and other shifts. So any doubt regarding the very short period? Okay. So next we can see about your short period of time. So short period refers to a period wherein changes can be made in few factors like unskilled laborers. So you want to do some of the products in the market to be sold. You will see as much as possible you want more of laborers. So you will intake of the unskilled laborers who don't know the work also will be given an opportunity that you have to be doing the production in time. So raw material is also going to be produced, fuel and number of shifts, different kinds of shifts. I think you can be knowing during this production time, most of the people will be working who are working in the factories, they will not get even a half a day leave. They have to be doing different kinds of shifts also, because that period is going to be the production time. You will see that the people are going to be having number of shifts to be done, and unskilled laborers and materials are also going to be provided for them to be producing within that short span of time. It is going to be producing the output. So here main target for the producer is production. So what is going to be the output of production they are going to be producing? How much of laborers are required? How much, whether it is going to be skilled labor or unskilled laborers? What is the raw materials? What is the technology? What is the fuel? What are the number of shifts the people are going to be working? All this is to be included in this short span of time to give you the output of production in this short run. Thirdly, you are going to be having the long period. So long period refers to a period where a producer has sufficient time to effect change in every factors of production. So the very last one is going to be called as the long period. So in this long period, you have a lot of time for you to take and to make changes in all the factors. In all the four factors, you can have changes to be done, because you are you're having enough of time for you to do the production. So what are the things you are going to be doing? You do it in a procedure where you can see you have sufficient time, how much of land is required to produce, and what are you going to be producing, for whom you're going to be producing, what technology you're going to be using, how much of laborers are required, whether skilled or unskilled, because when you are going to be running an industry, you need to have both skilled and unskilled laborers. So skilled laborers is a person who is going to be knowing the work. He's been trained. Whereas unskilled laborers are people who are not knowing the work. They are yet to learn. So this sort of cooperation has been needed for the production of the industry. So you need to have all those kinds of people to be worked to give your production. So you decide who the organizer is going to be making use of this opportunity to give your production using these three factors. So what are the factors he's going to be taking is the land, the labor, and the capital. So how much of land, how much of laborers, what is the technology, and what they're going to be producing and in what quantities. This has been decided by this producer in this process. So you can see how much of time you have to make your production to be very, very successful. So this can be seen in various changes. So short run production analysis and the law of variable proportions. Two types you're going to be having. The law of variable proportion explains the relationship between proposition of fixed inputs and variable inputs on one hand and other on the other. So you can see here, the law of variable proportion explains the relationship between the proportion of your fixed inputs. So fixed inputs are, it might be a land, it might be a technology. So how much of input you're going to be having, and the variable inputs on one hand and output on the other. How much you require and what is going to be the output. How much of laborers are required or how much of technology is being required. It has dependence on the variable factors. Different types of factors are going to be responsible for your production. So based on that, you will see the proportions to be given in the output level. So in the short period, if a firm wants to expand its production, it can do so by increasing its variable inputs, keeping the fixed input constant. As a result, the proportion between fixed and the variable factors get changed, such a situation is called as a law of variable proportion. So you can see in this short period of time, a firm wants to expand its production. It can do by increasing its variable inputs, keeping the fixed input constant. So having fixed input constant, you can see how it can expand its production. So as a result, the proportion being fixed between the variable factors gets changed. So you have to be changing some of the commodities or some of the technology or some of the laborers, which has to be giving you a variable proportion. This is called as a law of variable proportions. You have three stages: increasing returns, diminishing returns, and the negative returns. So what are the assumptions of the law of variable proportions? The assumptions of the law of variable proportions are: technology is assumed to be constant. Technology is the equipments what you're going to be using. As I told you, technology is assumed to be constant. When you have the technology in constant only, you can see you will have variation of production of your output. Technology is good standard and it is going to be producing in more quantity. Technology is going to be becoming older and older. You have to change it. So then it can be having the production to be increased. Otherwise, it will keeps on diminishing. So there should be some inputs whose quantities remain constant. So what is the input we are going to be having? If it is going to be in the same level only, we can see the output of the quantities will also be constant. So when you have some variation in the output or in your input, you will have variables in your proposition of your production. So the law will be having variable proportions. So there should be some input whose quantities remain constant. So it is possible to change the factor proportion. So what is the factor of proportion? You're going to be seeing how it increases. So when the factors of production, any one is also not going to be sufficient for the output, you will have possibility to change in the proportion of your output. So whether the labor or the technology or the machines or any other equipments which are going to be seeing, if you're taking it for the industrial sector or agricultural sector or any sectors, you have to have certain things to be unchanged, a fixed factor. So when this is going to be there, the other things keeps to be changing. So all units of the variable factors are equally efficient. So all the units of the variable are going to be equally efficient. So there is no change. They are also going to be doing in the same. It is going to be a competitive world. Based on the competition, we see that the production is also going to be having output. So factors of production are not perfect substitute. So the factors of production cannot be compromised with anything. We cannot substitute it with anything. It is unique. So you can see these factors of production are not at all going to be a perfect substitute to anything else. So it needs to be done on its own. So you can see here, there are three main stages. So what are the three main stages you can see here is, the first stage is going to be the increasing returns. The second stage is going to be called as the diminishing returns. Diminishing returns means decreasing. It is not in the same level as it was. It keeps on changing. As the production declines, the output also declines. And the last stage is going to be the negative returns. So what is that negative returns is? You can see it goes to the negative stage below zero. So first law, you can see the increasing returns. So what is the increasing returns? You can see the diagram even in your textbook page number 40. The law of diminishing marginal product and the law of variable proportions. So the units of variable inputs, down you can take it as laborers, y-axis you can take it as your capital. So quantities of average product, marginal product and total product, all the three together as capital. So when you're taking the diagram here, you can see the first stage goes on increasing. Then it comes to the maximum stage, then it goes to the negative. That is going to be your total product. Stage 1, it increases. Stage 2, the marginal product, it is going to be increasing. Then it is coming to the average product. The second curve comes to the average product. It is never touched zero. It is still in the same state where it is being diminished. But whereas the marginal product, at the beginning it increases and the second stage decreases and then goes to the negative state called as your marginal. It is crossing your line x-axis and goes down to the negative. So marginal curve will always go to the negative state, whereas your total product and your marginal product, at the beginning it will increase. The production will increase, then come to a saturation stage, then decreases in your short run. Then in your short run, it will go to the negative state. Marginal utility will go to the negative state. Second stage will come to the average, then it comes to the negative.